Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel and to the first C Team chat. Obviously, this is a takeover kind of chat because Matt is sick, apparently. He caught something from one of his daughters last night, I guess, and yeah, he was basically out for the night, shitting and throwing up, I guess, so coming out both ends. Never a fun time, obviously. Yeah, I know how that feels, man. I know how that felt respectively when he told me to go try out a food truck around here, and it was a Mexican food truck in Ohio, so you know how that's gonna happen. Like, yeah, it was not a good time, man. Not a good time at all. But yeah, it's been a week since mom's passing. Um, I'm doing kind of shitty, honestly. Just sort of aimless at this point, honestly. Not really sure, what's going to come next. I was talking to my sister earlier about some stuff on that last chat that I did today. We were talking about some different things, and yeah, basically we're going to talk to the lawyer here at some point in the next week or so is what it is, and figure some stuff out here, and have to sign off on some things and whatnot, and it's going to be a whole situation there. So, I don't know, man. I was thinking more about it too, obviously, like, the whole possibility of moving to Texas and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want to move to Texas per se, or maybe I just want to, like, go and hang out in Texas for a couple of weeks or something, just say I was in Texas kind of thing, and then just come back here is what it'd be then. Like, maybe just go on an extended vacation and just see some sights and stuff like that kind of deal, like 2 weeks, a month, whatever it'd be then. So, I'm not sure exactly when that would happen, obviously, but if it would happen at all for that matter. But yeah, it's something to think about right now. And that way I could just have, a bunch of stuff going on and do what needs to be done and then go from there, basically. So, what was I going to say then? Oh, yeah. So basically, there's a lot of interesting stuff that's been happening in the last couple of days. Obviously, you have Texas ignoring, specifically Greg Abbott and the Texas National Guard ignoring the BS Supreme Court ruling the other day where Amy Coney Barrett and Roberts basically sided with the liberals on the court, and 5-4 decision were like, oh no, Texas has to remove a razor wire, and they're like, no, we're putting more up, bitch. So, and I guess that's what was happening. You had, like, feds, Border Patrol, whatever it was down there, that were, like, picking up some of it right there, and then Texas National Guard was coming right behind them and, like, putting it back up, basically, and then putting some more up after that. So, yeah, it's, like, good, man. And that's what I don't understand, like, with any of that stuff. It's like, how are you going to say that you are for America and for the sovereignty of this nation when you are openly committing high treason against the American people by allowing an open border system to happen right now as a Border Patrol agent, etc.? Well, not only allowing it to happen, but facilitating it on top of that, where you're sitting there like being like, oh yeah, we're gonna go ahead and expedite all those people through here and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, none of these fucking people coming here are asylum seekers at all, dude. Like, that's the whole point. In order to seek asylum, you have to go to the first safe country that's not your own, which was like 10 countries ago for half these fuckers, dude. And especially the last one was Mexico then, obviously, before the United States. So yeah, it was all safe countries there, so it would be then be all Central American nations there and stuff that they went through. And then on top of that, when you see all these people and you see all these NGOs out there, the Soros NGOs, etc., out there that are going around and basically telling these people, oh yeah, go to America and they'll give you free handouts all the time and stuff like that. And they actually do, unfortunately, in many cases. Like, all these NGOs, etc., facilitating this shit to where they come in here and they get like $4,000 a month on a fucking prepaid Visa card and a bunch of other shit like that, dude. And it's like, yet meanwhile, I, as an American citizen, don't have any income coming in at all, am technically 100% disabled at this point, and yet the fucking people with disability here in the state of Ohio are fucking dragging their goddamn feet for the last 6 months. It's not giving me shit right now. And it's like, bro, like, how am I supposed to feel pissed off right now, honestly? When I literally have people coming into my country, stealing food off my fucking plate, literally, undercutting me as an American citizen, my vote as an American citizen, by being given voting rights in these fucking shithole states like California, New York, etc. It's like, dude, like, whew, at some point it's gonna break, dude. I really think it is, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the headphones off until somebody actually shows up. Since that's not like 10 links, but I don't know if anybody actually will show up or not, though. But nothing else. We'll just talk about a few things here. I do want to talk about, got a couple stories I want to talk about, obviously. Number one was obviously today was the 24th. You had the Ohio State Senate come back into session today and finally override DeWine's dipshit veto of HB 68. So that's now law. So we're no longer going to allow kids to basically have their junk cut off in the state of Ohio. And yeah, the liberals are going to go basically fuck off a cliff, is what it is, dude, for real. And speaking of fucking off, you had, I'm going to go see if I can find it real quick here. There was one of these ass clowns that showed up in the hearings today, basically flipping out and trying to like stop the state senate from being like, oh, please don't actually override DeWine's veto. Please don't do it, y'all. And they look exactly what you think they would, man, as a fucking transgender person, where it's just a dude in fucking makeup and shit. Like, that person looks insane, dude. Like, I remember a time in history, legitimately, I've seen evidence of this from video reels, etc., where a nutcase like this would literally be dragged out of that fucking chamber by two men in white coats and have a straitjacket thrown around their asses before being thrown in the back of a fucking vehicle and drug off to some fucking insane asylum in this country where they belong. Which, ironically enough, they were kind of drug out of the chambers there by some people. Yeah, it claims protest. This is, by the way, this Ohio Capitol Journal is one of the biggest left-wing rags you'll ever fucking see, is what it is here in the state, dude. It's run by these ass clowns. A couple of these douchebags like this Megan Henry woman, but it's all, I forget who the actual guy is that's actually like the head that created the damn thing, but he's just fucking idiot, is what it is. But yeah, of course they call this fucking leftist nut job a protester. I'm gonna call them what they are, a fucking nutcase that literally is okay with fucking chopping kids' dicks off and fucking chopping little girls' tits off and stuff like that, and call it gender affirming care because they're that mentally fucking ill, is what it is, dude. Yeah, so the ass senators, person asked senators not to override DeWine's veto, House Bill 68, which would limit medical care for transgender minors, literally meaning transgender surgeries for minors is what they really mean, and block girls from competing in guys' sports. Well, this is the problem, though. They should never be allowed in the fucking place to begin with, dude. Let's see what piece of shit numbnuts Nikki Antonio had to say there. Let's see. It said senators discussed House Bill 68 for about an hour before taking a vote. Democrats said that they celebrated DeWine's veto, while Republicans expressed their disappointment in last month's veto. So here's the problem with that, right? Mike DeWine shouldn't even be governor of Ohio right now, dude. John Husted shouldn't be lieutenant governor right now. Matt Hoffman should have grown a pair and brought impeachment records against both those assholes over a month ago now, and taken over the governorship himself for the next couple of years then. That's the issue right now that we have at hand. The real problem entirely, and of course Democrats celebrate mental illness is what it is, dude. Because they're all fucking mentally ill. Because it's their voter bases that are the ones that are supporting this bullshit. It's their voter bases that are abusing children in this country, in the state, by pushing forward this bullshit. You know, there wouldn't be an issue in this country if it wasn't fucking dipshit fucking Democrats trying to push forward more and more mental illness every chance they get, dude. Which the following meme describes perfectly, and this was actually due to the one that we're going to talk about here in a minute in Colorado, which is this meme right here, which was state governments, gender ideology, mental health crisis, and then slowly state governments pouring fucking fuel on the fire for mental health crisis. Meaning, obviously, what Colorado did today, was the following. And this was out of a committee, I believe is what it was, hearing. which was breaking Colorado bill sponsored by Lindsay for Colorado, which would be this crazy bitch right here is what it is, which would make gender affirming a child affirming a child's gender ideology a requirement for foster care parents passed the Colorado legislature by 9-4 votes. So I'm assuming that was a committee hearing, what they're saying on that one. So if a kid decides they're transgender or non-binary and changes their name and pronouns, the foster parents must now affirm and respect this bullshit. Fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. It's absolutely just sickening. So, anyway. So we got one in the chat.
What up, man? We were talking in the back on Duke's stream. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I was just talking about the Colorado craziness with them passing gender-affirming care for foster parents now.
Nope. Fuck it.
And about how we here in Ohio actually said, no, fuck y'all, we are vetoing DeWine's bullshit. We're vetoing his veto on HB 68. And
Honda needs to get out of there, man.
As it said here, said the quote, there are men, there are women, and there are boys and girls, and they are different, said State Senator Christina Rogner. That's one of our state house people here in Ohio. It said, gender is not a fluid. There is no such thing as gender spectrum, she claimed. Said State Senator and new guy, Bill DeMora, who's a douchebag, said the bill becomes law, said this bill becoming law will lead to the loss of life. I'm so fucking sick and tired of these Democrats with this shit, dude. They're such fucking liars.
Oh, yeah.
They said the same bullshit. They said the same exact bullshit almost 2 fucking years ago. They did it, and Moms Debate Action did it when they were talking about there's going to be blood in the streets and the wild, wild west if constitutional care becomes law here. Guess what, motherfuckers? A year and a half later, none of that shit's happened.
Maybe it should. Maybe it should.
And the exact same fucking thing with gender affirming care bullshit. Because it's not even, that's the real problem. Even calling it gender affirming care is absolutely a fucking lie. Because you're not affirming a child's gender when you're chopping pieces off of that child and making them a lifetime patient of big pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah, man, it's a lifetime patient. That's all they care about is the money.
And that's the whole point. And you see these kids now, and I've talked about it many times on these things. You got these people who were young girls told, oh, now you're a dude, get a double mastectomy, and they did. And now they're suing places like Kaiser Permanente for millions and millions, if not billions of dollars.
Good.
As they should be.
Yeah.
You know, or it's like that one girl, Chloe Cold, actually came here to testify against this kind of stuff. Because she's one of the people that obviously has detransitioned her kid because she was born a female. You know, chose to live her life as a male because of doctors and stuff like that for a couple of years. Had double mastectomy, had a bunch of testosterone in her system, etc. there. And now she realizes, having gone back, detransition what's possible as she can, because obviously she can never go fully back right now. And has gone on this whole tour now, talking about how she's basically living her life in constant pain and agony because of this shit.
Yeah, man, it's disgusting, and they're manipulated because they think it's cool or whatever, and
well,
sometimes, especially like in high school, man, like if you don't have a clique or anything to be into, you think you're weird anyway. So you're like, well, all these people love me if I do this. Like, you're too young and dumb. You really don't know anything, and it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate, but. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Well, the real problem is, though, you know, I feel like it is a generational thing because I remember back, you know, growing up in high school, 16, 17, around the 2000s and stuff like that, where it was cool to be gay. Like, it was the it thing at the time, basically.
Not where I'm at.
Well,
but I mean,
I think it might have been a regional thing too, for that matter. But
when we had a problem, we just fucking duked it out. I mean,
yeah. Well, no, what I'm saying is I know there was a time period in history where that's where the ideology was. It was like, yeah, it was cool to be gay. It was cool to be whatever. And people have even talked about it with colleges and stuff like that too, where you have some of these individuals who I think they referred to them as lugs or something like that, which was a lesbian until graduation because they claimed to be a lesbian. And then they, as soon as they graduated, were like, oh, no, this is actually just a phase in my life, whatever the case be. And that's the problem, though, is like half of this stuff with the gender ideology shit is it's a lifetime deal because once you go forward, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Once you block a kid's puberty, they can't have a fucking puberty, dude. Like, you just fuck that kid for life. You just sterilize their ass.
Yeah. And that's what they want. They're pushing, abortion for us. They're pushing, this stuff for kids, but they have all these illegals coming over here and they're having kid after kid after kid. It's literally idiocracy in real time. Like, we're getting outbred by dumb, unskilled people.
Yep. And then, of course, we got Nikki Antonio, who is the biggest piece of shit in my state General Assembly right now. It's this woman right here. She is a fucking clown ass. She's also, like, she's one of these gender ideology people because she basically talks about how, oh, I'm the first open lesbian in the Ohio General Assembly. Nobody gives a shit, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, nobody gives a fuck. You want to go be gay with your fucking female partner? Go be gay with your female partner. Don't be bringing that shit to the fucking politics, though. Don't be pushing that shit into politics. But yeah, her quote here was, politicians have no business banning evidence-based life-saving medical care, especially when it is endorsed by every major medical and mental health association, claiming that gender-affirming care for minors stuff. It's like, well, first of all, you stupid bitch, there is no evidence-based crap that you're claiming there. It's all a bunch of lies. And of course, when you have big pharmaceutical companies shoving a big fat fucking envelope full of cash down your pants or in your pocket, whatever it is there, of course you're going to say stupid shit like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then she continued on with her stupidity and said, we should listen to parents, providers, and patients, not willfully and purposefully pass harmful legislation that will add to the mass execution of individuals from the state of Ohio. Or sorry, mass exodus. So that was when the person that was freaking out was removed from the chambers at that point. Let me see. Yeah, so this fucking nut job right here then freaked the fuck out during Christina Rogner's discussing some stuff and said, Jesus loves the little children, all little children in the world, LGBTQIA. So Jesus would be here on their side today. We need to support them. No, he wouldn't be, actually. He would be flipping the tables and kicking the shit out of you at that point.
Yeah.
For killing his kids. Yeah, it's just so fucking disgusting. And the thing is, too, it's like, the GOP in this state even watered this stuff down. Like, it's not even, like, and this is why I really hate Nikki Antonio and all these other Democrats like that, because they will sit here and they will lie. And they will falsely claim, oh, it's going to cause kids to go, suicide spiking, wherever the case be there. It's not, because you literally have written into the legislation itself, if this would cause a child to be suicidal that was on some medication and taking them off it would cause that, no, keep them on it. Yeah, like it literally is saving lives at that point. What it's doing is it's stopping other kids from being creeped upon, preyed upon, etc., from sick-ass adults that have Munchausen syndrome by proxy, or I think there's another term for it now is what it is, but it's basically forcing your kid to be trans because you want to be fucking cool or whatever now.
Yeah, you got nothing going on, so you got to pawn it off on your kid.
Yeah. It's so fucking disgusting is what it is. And it really is like the Jazz Jennings generation is what it is, man. With their nutcase parents, their nutcase female mothers is what it is there, because even that kid, if you actually watch that series, it was like the last couple seasons of that show or whatever, that mother, Jeanette, even admitted she has mental illness, dude. That she was fucked up in the head from her own mom with like weight issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course she's going to put that onto her son then. And ironically enough, that son, after doing the whole transitional shit into a female, or as close as possible as they want to be, there's what it is now dating females. So it's like, what the fuck?
Look, this is my shock face. I'm so shocked.
But yeah, it's so insane. It's so insane. But anyway, so yeah, and then they're, of course, and I love how they actually want to claim that it's like, all these medical associations and all these places like that. It's like, yeah, it's people who are going to benefit financially off of this shit. They're all pushing for the trans surgery and everything else like that. That's what it is. So. Looks like people responded back to me earlier.
How you doing, man?
As good as I can right now.
Any forward movements on possibly going to Texas or no?
I talked about that right before you got here. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Texas per se, like permanently. I might just take a trip in that direction, maybe for a while, a couple weeks, a month, maybe, or something. Just hang out, bullshit with some people and whatnot, and then come back.
Yeah.
Sort of get my head clear and whatever.
Like, I know you have family there. Like, where do you have like the majority of your family at? Like, are they?
The majority of the family's here in Ohio is what it is.
Oh, gotcha.
The only, I don't have any family in Texas at all. Actually, I would be going there basically blind. The only people I know from there would be Corey and Matt and them guys. So
yeah,
it'd be extended friends and stuff like that.
Corey to get tore up for fucking what's going on down there, man. It's a hot button deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about this in Duke's chat. I want to hear what you think, because if they go down and they have a standoff, right? Mm-hmm. National Guard in Texas versus the Border Patrol, how do you think that's going to go down?
Well, I think it's going to be a bad day for everybody. And I think we already have a bunch of dumbass Democrats in Congress basically calling for such a thing. Which, as of 5 hours ago, you had Dems in Congress are calling for Biden to seize control of the Texas National Guard. So, first of all, I don't think that's even legal for federal anything to seize a state guard. But yeah, you had
I also don't think so. But here,
Julian Castro saying Governor Greg Abbott is using Texas National Guard to obstruct and create chaos at the border. Abbott is defying yesterday's Supreme Court ruling. POTUS needs to establish sole federal custody or sole federal control of Texas National Guard now. And then Congressman Greg Cesar said, couldn't agree with you more. Abbott is denying yesterday's Supreme Court ruling. President needs to establish National Guard for Texas being under federal control. So, and then as somebody in the comment section of that said here, Article 4, Section 4, United States will guarantee that every state in the Union is a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion. So yeah, it directly defies that, obviously, is one thing.
Yeah.
So
here's what I think is Texas has so much pride and a big swinging nutsack that if they go back and say the Border Patrol fires a couple shots at them, they're going to fire back. And it's going to it's obviously going to spark civil war.
Yeah, and this guy said it correct. He said, this is where we are. Legal in Washington, D.C., legal at the border. Same shit, different day, different place. Yep. Fucking ridiculous.
I think the way that we would win that is if Texans got shot at, if they would dig a spider hole / trench, whatever, and had the restraint not to fire back, and we got everybody with every cell phone out there streaming everything, and you got news reporters streaming it and showing, hey, maybe these right-wing dudes aren't as crazy as we say they are. Like, they're getting shot at and they're not even returning fire because they are still American citizens, most, right? Mm-hmm. That would turn their table because they've been trying to get WW Trace going. They've been trying to get all kinds of things. Everybody's proxying through everybody. They're either going to have to do the cop sniffle X, or they're going to have to do civil war to get UN to come in here to suspend the election.
Yeah.
And they're going to play right into it because people are fed up. And I think that's the only way we turn it against them, is to show, hey, these are the real people creating the problems that we've been telling you about. But you guys think our conspiracy theories are so bad that, like, you won't listen to anything we have to say. That would be the ultimate show of restraint. And it would fuck them up.
What's going on, guys?
Not much. Just talking about Texas and the border and everything else like that.
Yeah, man.
As and Wokeness says that Texas need to follow Biden's lead in something North Supreme Court ruling. They can do it for student loans. We can sure as hell do it for our sovereignty. If Biden administration wants to take down the razor wire, let them try. They will have to first go through Texas National Guard. Hold the line, Texas.
Yeah, I read a bunch of stuff today about the guard, and Abbott not standing down at all.
Yeah,
and it's funny because a couple of days ago, I actually called Abbott out on Twitter and, basically told him he needs to essentially grow a pair and not back down and protect us Texans and protect the border and shit like that. And then I see all this stuff coming out today. I was like, I know that my comments didn't have any measure of whatever towards that, but I was like, good. At least maybe he's listening to people, not me in particular, but just he's not backing down.
Well, what he needs to do is stand up and take a bow. Yeah, that's me.
That's fun.
I actually said that one time, not realizing he was actually permanently in a wheelchair. So.
Oh yeah, he's been in a wheelchair.
We got the new Texas flag, the "Come and Take It" razor wire flag.
Really? Hell yeah!
I assume people
y'all make all different types of flags.
Yeah, I need to make that. Honestly, I'm gonna go and grab that.
Yeah, make that into a T-shirt. That'll sell like hotcakes to Texans.
Yeah. Are you buying one?
I'd buy one. Yep.
Not sure it's gonna pop up on my feed here, so.
Shot Red, with all this going on, is it swayed your decision of maybe coming to Texas?
I ain't saying nah, but that's why I said that whole middle ground thing was Vegas real quick. I know, so give it a little something. Still close to be over there. I say it's not. No, but I had a buddy send me called me recently and told me a funny ass story. What happened at work? I guess the guy he was working with doing security at some like private area at the place. It's like some new guy that just got hired right on his first day. So he was with him, and apparently, I guess it was like a snake slithering by, like a garden snake. He unloaded his 8 shots of 45 at it and shit, and only able to hit it with 1 shot. He pretty much discharged the firearm, and the police came and took his shit away and got fired.
I have a simpler way to kill a snake like that. Just pick it up by its tail, and
remember, most people are scared of animals like that. You know they're not going to touch snakes. And it was a garden snake, poisonous, but some people don't know all about that shit.
Right.
But he told me something interesting I didn't know. Apparently, if that would happen in Sacramento, for you discharging your firearm, even if it's a lawful shoot or you didn't shoot or not, once you shoot per round, you had to pay $500 to $1,000.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, even if it was a legal shoot, because that same buddy who told me he had to pay $200.
That just seems stupid either way.
Paying a fine, fuck, no matter if I use my gun or not.
That's some commie bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, shit.
And of course, you got the people that love to lie. This person here said, "Haven't told him I'm trans yet. I'm nervous. What if he doesn't accept me?" Like, well, pretty sure you're probably going to be unalived if you go that route. Because it usually happens with people. They will sit there and lie to somebody, and then they'll get back to the hotel room or bedroom of the house or whatever it is, and then just get fucking taken out then, because people get pissed. So
it's kind of like this video I saw a while back where this dude was dressed up like a chick and pretty passable. I mean, you can still tell it was a dude, but pretty passable. Yeah. And as he was dressed up like a chick, he's like, "Should I tell my date, that I'm transgender?" And then that video ends, and then the second one begins with him as a dude with his face all fucked up, black eye, swelling.
I saw a similar one where it's like something about, I'm going to tell this guy I'm trans or whatever, and then it's like the next thing is like a screenshot of them with a black eye. It's like, Yeah, because you
They
were
got
lying to them the whole
fucked.
time, and you wonder why they got pissed off at you.
Yeah, you got fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing, right? I think honestly, if these people just told the truth, like they'd be better off for everybody. Because I mean, there are people that are into that kind of shit, honestly. You know,
Yep.
and the problem, and I think honestly, what it is it really is a lot of just fucked up individuals that want to just sit there and basically turn straight men gay in many cases, or as close to gay as possible for them, anyway. So.
So how long do you give till something pops off in Texas? I meant to ask this to Duke earlier and I forgot.
It'll be a little bit
Probably
anyway.
in between a week or
Yeah.
3 months.
Let's see, here we got Colorado leftist militant Darian Ray Sexton, pictured in the left, was sentenced 39 months in prison for trying to burn down a church using 2 homemade fire bombs. He targeted the church for its religious teachings, pled guilty to federal hate crime charges. Far left regularly targets traditional churches for their teachings about marriage or abortion. Antifa smashed up multiple churches in Portland since 2020 and were not prosecuted last year. A trans person, pictured on the right side there, was charged with allegedly burning down a historic downtown church. Yeah, that fucking guy right there. Oh. Ridiculous.
I ain't surprised. A lot of people acting mentally ill. Shit, I just saw a video recently
Jesus.
of
Beto made his way out of the fucking woodwork again.
Yeah, I just saw a video recently of some pro Antifa guy, I guess, getting some argument with some well-known YouTuber Destiny about the car run house bullshit.
Yeah.
That dude sounded so much like a retard.
Yeah, Beto said Abbott is using Texas Guard to defy Supreme Court ruling. When Governor Fabus did this in 1957, Eisenhower federalized the Arkansas Guard to ensure compliance with the law. Biden must follow the example of bold, decisive leadership to end the crisis before it gets worse. You know what this reminds me of, honestly? This what we're seeing right now very much reminds me of what happened, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago now? Or wait, was it 5 years ago, actually, now thinking about it? I want to say 2021, maybe? When Kate Brown, who was then Oregon governor, decided it was a good fucking idea to try to send state cops after state reps and state senators from Oregon that left to go to Idaho for protection to basically stop a fucking referendum vote that would have ensured what was called a cap and trade, I think is what it was, bill to make Oregon basically become the first like carbon-free emissions thing. But the thing of it was, it would have done actually nothing to actually help anybody. It would have just given more taxation to the taxpayers is what it was. And force them to pay more taxes and everything else like that.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Oregon ain't a type of state that really got a lot of people in it, ain't it?
No, it is. It's got quite a few there. Well, at least it did anyway. I mean, Antifa's drug out a lot of them now is what it is, but yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as the next story that we're going to pull up here, which is woman 32 who stabbed her date over 100 times till he was dead in weed-induced frenzy is sentenced to 100 hours of community service, no jail time at all. Judge claims she had, quote, no control over her actions after cannabis caused psychotic break. That was in California, by the way.
One, that's weird if anybody goes with that one, with that, in my state too.
Fucking
We
insane,
don't
dude.
do that, so she must listen to taking other shit.
Yeah. It's just
Or she's doing like other
psychotic.
nefarious reasons.
Oh, don't want to show that. Yeah. Everybody at the fucking wall there. It's a freaky looking coffee cup. Sorry, I got to go through a bunch of stuff here to not see any fighting, brawling, etc. Love to show this one, but I can't because it's literally that one dude getting the Gary Pluchet treatment back in the day. And people were like, "Why, Gary? Why?" After he no scopes on the 38. So But
I
anyway.
don't think I've seen that one. I've heard of.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's yeah, it was. They had the guy coming back from the in handcuffs to the airport, and Gary was just sitting there at the phone, acting like he was just some normal guy, and turns around and just
Yeah,
boom.
the dude who molested his daughter and stuff, got him from the side.
No, it was a son. It was a son because the
Oh,
guy
son,
who
yeah.
the Jeffrey Doucette
Yeah.
guy who was actually there, he was
Yeah, but
actually
he
a
was waiting
karate
by the
teacher, is what it
phone booth, yeah.
was.
Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
the
he
payphones
molested
and
his
turn
son and a
around.
bunch of other kids, and
Yep.
then yeah, from there it basically just
Yeah. So that dude still ain't alive, huh?
No, he died in 14, I think it was.
yeah, he died a couple years ago anyway.
Yeah, I think it was.
Real quick.
I think it was 2014 or 16 that he died.
Yeah, and people actually asked him after that if he regretted doing that or whatever. He's like, "No, I would do it again many times."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. It was 2014, Corey. Yep, Gary Pluchet. This was actually his son that was molested, and yeah, this is actually Gary right here is what it is. Yeah, 1945 to 2014, American man known for publicly killing Jeffrey Doucette, a child molester who kidnapped and raped Pluchet's son, Jody. So the killing occurred the use of a revolver on March 16, 1984, and was captured on camera by local news crew. Pluchet was given a 7-year suspended sentence with 5 years probation and 300 hours of community service. Receiving no prison time, the case received wide publicity because some people questioned whether Pluchet should have been charged with murder, since he took the law in his own hands, obviously. So Pluchet contended that he was in the right and that any parent in a similar position would have taken the same action. Yep.
Oh, so he didn't go to prison.
No. Yeah, this was
Okay.
in Baton
Lucky.
Rouge.
Yeah, because he was, back then, that shit was, looked at differently. So, they saw it as, the guy did something bad to someone's kid.
Not only that, but he kidnapped and raped his kid. So,
Exactly.
Well, not only that, remember, you got to think about certain types of people you deal with. That's one of the ones I would have skirt as a judge personally, but there are some people that are like hardcore justice, meaning whether or not you was in the right or wrong, you still get hit with the other part of the law too.
Yeah,
it was a different time back then, though.
Yeah, here it says March 16, 1984, Doucette was flown back to Louisiana to face trial. He arrived at Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport and was led in handcuffs by police officers to the airport around 9:30 p.m. But Pluchet was waiting for Doucette with a revolver, acting like he was on the phone at the time, obviously. It's an employee of an ABC affiliate. Had told Pluchet about Doucette would be arriving at the airport. A news crew from that area was waiting for Doucette and had set up their cameras to record the arrival. Opposite the news crew was a bank of phones where Pluchet waited while talking to his best friend on the telephone. He wore a baseball cap, sunglasses so that no one recognized him as Doucette. Was escorted through the airport. He passed the news crew where were taping. He then walked past Gary, who took out his handgun and fired right at Doucette's head, point blank range, blowing his brains out. So, and then of course you had the cop being like, "Why, Gary? Why?"
Yeah, because if you ever seen that video, if you haven't seen it, that's the craziest one to watch.
Yeah, I'm not going to show it, obviously.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember that part when he was yelling out.
Yeah, they sometimes they'll usually cut because they'll usually like clip it and cut it off right before that or whatever. But because it's basically the cop going up and like grabbing the revolver up on his hand and like shoving it up against the phone bank. Essentially, is what it is.
That's one.
And he's like, "Why, Gary? Why?"
Yeah, you can clearly hear him say that, and I'm sure they were all thinking, "Yeah, that fucker got what he deserved, and good on him for actually doing that." Even though they may not have been able to say it out loud, they were probably thinking it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those guys were his poker buddies too. They would all hang out and play poker and stuff together.
What time was that? What zone was that? In the 70s or 80s?
This was 84, and it was Baton Rouge. Yeah, so Pluchet was initially charged with second-degree murder, but agreed to a plea bargain in which he pled no contest to manslaughter. He was given sentenced to 7 years, suspended sentence, with 5 years probation, 300 hours community service, which he completed in 1989. Some psychological reports helped Pluchet's case after it was learned that Doucette had abused Jody months prior to the kidnapping. So psychiatrist Edward something or other examined Pluchet and determined that he could not tell the difference between right and wrong when he killed Doucette. Pluchet's defense team argued that he was driven to a temporary psychotic state, temporary insanity, after learning of the abuse of his son. So that one doctor also determined that Doucette had the ability to manipulate others and took advantage of the fact that Pluchet was separated from his wife at the time and had managed to wedge his way into Pluchet's family. Judge Frank something or other ruled that sending Pluchet to prison would not help anyone, and that there was virtually no risk of
The
him
case
committing another
sounds
crime.
familiar to me. No, the when you start talking about the manipulation part and all the other shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I heard-
Well, a lot of them are, dude. Like, that's the one thing with a lot of the good molesters out there are fucking hardcore manipulators, dude. That's why a lot of them get a teaching
Yeah.
industry nowadays as females and stuff. So, yeah, it's a video of
Well, no, a lot of them. Well,
Jay
the
killing
problem is
Doucette
a
was
lot of them
featured
now
in Michael
with the-
Moore's documentary, Traces of Death 2.
to bring up what you're talking about, a lot of reasons also too why it's mostly a lot of ladies is because sometimes the people don't see it that way,
Yeah.
and two, they don't act on impulse as fast as men does. They like to play, like they'll wait for the perfect time for the guys do like oh, you something you want to fuck? Okay, I'm ready to go. We go 1 to 10 real fast.
Yeah, so Gary suffered a stroke 2011, then died in 2014 at a nursing home 3 weeks before his 69th birthday. So, yeah, had it not been for that, he'd probably still be alive today, actually. But yeah, Count Dankula did a whole breakdown of this thing on one of the Absolute Mad Lads a while ago. So,
Yeah, only you get so lucky with that kind of dirt.
and then going back to Texas here, we got Texas is authorized to engage in war. Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which Texas Governor Greg Abbott cited in the statement today, reads as follows. It said, no state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tenure in payment of debts, pass any bill of a tender, export facto law, or law impairing the obstruction of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. Said no state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any imports or duties or imports or exports. Imposts or duties on imports or exports, except when they may absolutely be necessary for executing the inspection laws and the net produce of all duties and imports or imposts laid by any state. Said shall not, and no state shall, without the consent of Congress, lay any duty of towage, keep troops or ships of war in time of peace, enter into an agreement or compact with another state or with a foreign power, or engage in war unless actually invaded. So that's what he's talking about there. Is talking about the actual invasion, or in such imminent danger as will not admit to delay. So yeah, Texas has the right to go to war at this point. Then.
Yeah, they've been waiting to write this for a while. Corey, y'all about to be the most hated soon because they gonna have to spin this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about to be interesting.
It's about to get wild.
No, don't be surprised. My states are poking at them.
Yeah. Let's see, ooh, can't show that one. Let's see what else here. And then we just got Biden urges to use Texas National Guard over Abbott. From Abbott over the border. Again, I don't think he has legal authority to do that right now, honestly. Or ever for that matter, especially considering he's not an actual legal fucking president in this country. So
See, the problem is as scary as the leaders now that are strictly in power, they're fucking, well, is it okay I can say this word? The R word? I can say retarded.
yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you were Sorry.
Yeah, they're pretty much being retarded. I mean,
yeah, you're good.
They're not that bright, leaders and stuff. So don't be surprised they might do a little shit that's kind of like illegal, even in
it's
the
all
federal
illegal.
level. I'm talking about in the federal level. They start doing some certain tactics and stuff and fucking with Texas.
Well, we did got some good in the world already. Arizona GOP chairman resigns after leaked audio replying alleged bribe for powerful people to stop Kari Lake. That dude needs to be in jail for trying to bribe her ass, honestly, period, in the story. That's what the real news needs to be happening right now. Let's see. Then we got West Virginia conservatives seek to close primaries after voters crossed party lines in New Hampshire. This is the problem I have entirely is like, and I've seen this so many times before, where you'll have Democrats be like, oh, we want this fucking rhino sack of shit in power, so let's go ahead and jump over here so we can vote for him and fake like we're fucking Republicans here when we're not. And then meanwhile, we'll sit there and try to flip-flop back ways right before the election then and go back to being a Democrat then when they get their fucking picks and power is what it is then for the actual general election.
That's the whole weird thing when you got like a free kind of vote system thing. It's just like,
well, and this is the thing with Ohio. We don't have this, thank God. We do have closed primary stuff where once you pick something in primaries, you're that way for general election too, motherfucker. So if you're going to vote Republican in the thing here next month, or not next month, about a month and a half from now, March 19th is when Ohio's primary is. You're a Republican voter for good. So
how's that work with people in the middle?
So basically what happened was you had scumbag sack of shit, John Kasich back in 2013, when he was running for re-election, use a bunch of a-holes in power then that are still a-holes in power now because they keep flip-flopping our General Assembly and breaking term limits and stuff like that we put in place over a decade ago. And all these dudes and chicks basically created a two-party primary system here now to where it's either red or blue. You have no third choice anymore. And it's like the biggest scumbag shit ever.
Wait, say that last part again?
You no longer have a third choice in the state of Ohio. You're either voting Democrat or voting Republican. There's no other option.
You know, you say that because I posted this video on Discord where this lady was like, trying to get, her registration card and all that, voter registration card. And on there, it only had three options. Yeah. Libertarian, Independent, or Democrat.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching earlier.
That's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, and then told him you have to go to the place to register Republican again or whatever. Yeah. Well, what's fucked up about the whole thing in general here is what it is I never really considered us a red state to begin with, honestly. I don't think we're purple either, for that matter. I think we are orangish, if anything else, where we have a lot of red in the rural areas here, and then the major cities are just all blue, basically. There might be some libertarians, there might be some Green Party people in the mix there someplace, some independents, whatever you call them there, that would probably vote that way if they had the choice. But in many cases, they won't, honestly. Because I even remember when I going back to 2016, actually, because it was that primary where I actually became a default Republican in this state, because up to that point, I was considered to be a libertarian voter. And I was going to vote McAfee in the primaries there. And when I showed up to the polling place and I was like, yeah, libertarian, they're like, what is your party persuasion? I'm like, libertarian. And they're like, oh, no, it has to be Republican or Democrat. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? And it was because of that stupid ass law that was put in place like a year and a half before that or so. So,
wait, yeah, so what was McAfee as?
He was a libertarian candidate at the time.
So what? They just knocked him out?
No. He was still in there. Obviously, it was just you couldn't vote for him in the state of Ohio. Is what it was for the primary stuff. You can vote for him for president, obviously, but it became a whole thing there.
Okay, yeah.
This is what it says for
that. I could see them skirting the line doing that.
This is what it says here for West Virginia. Here it said. Controversy over New Hampshire's open primary system set the stage for a fight in West Virginia as conservatives there seek to close the state's primary election soon. It says President Donald Trump defeated Nikki Haley by double digits in Tuesday night's election, making him the first non-incumbent to win both the Iowa caucus and New Hampshire primary. So Trump trumped Haley, despite the Granite State having an open primary system, which means that Democrats can legally cross over and vote for GOP primary. 70% of Haley voters were not registered Republicans. Of course they weren't, dude. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck can you be like, okay, Democrats, you can legally vote for this asshole instead? Like, what? You're not even that party, dude. Like, how is that even legal?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on there. But I was gonna bring up the point of when you're talking about with Ohio, with like it being orange, because I was gonna say we should have been
Yeah.
more purple, but
Mhm.
but no, because here over here in California, there was a lot of different other groups, besides
Yeah.
Democrat and Republican, but that was way
Well, and I've talked about it
middle.
before here when we have 88 counties and 99 state reps, and it's like you could easily get rid of 11 people right now. A lot of them are gerrymandered blue districts and stuff like that, where you could just have 8 or 10 people fight each other basically for one seat then.
Yep.
And even in my county right now, there's 3 different Republicans that represent Stark County, and it's like you could easily have them fight each other for the one seat is what it is then, and be better representation here is what it is then. And then you would actually have what I would consider to be, if we actually did that one county, one rep stuff, you could also do an open party affiliation stuff too then, because that way you would actually show what Ohio really is, which is basically you would have a good chunk of Republicans, you would have a small chunk of Democrats, that would be like probably like 10 or 12 seats maybe at most, and then you'd have like this middle ground of like probably like 30 something people in power in the state house that would be various independents, libertarians, Green Party, Constitutional Party, et cetera, and it would be like 2, 3, 4 here and there is what it is. And it would be like the actual numbers of people then. And you would actually have a representation again. And I think that's the problem with a lot of Democrats in the state, people that are still voting Democrat right now, or like, but we hate Republicans so much that we just want more of our people in power. And it's like, dude, no, what you really want is you want an actual free and fair map. And that's what that would do. It would create that stuff.
Yeah,
But y'all are too stupid to see that's what it is.
It's the same thing with over here.
Yeah.
I know way too many people in the middle here. It's just like nobody votes.
Yeah. Yes, as unaffiliated voters made up the slightly less than half of the electorate, 47%, and broke for Nikki Haley by 26 points. Said now that West Virginia Republican Party Executive Committee will reportedly meet on Saturday, where it will consider a proposal to restrict the primary elections, including the one for May. Let's see now, including for May, to only register Republicans. This would have a huge sway in the combative elections for governor and Senate. There's 2. So the state Republican and Democrat parties nearly 30 years ago opened their primaries to independent voters or non-affiliated voters to broaden their appeal. Said 25% of all registered voters in the state of West Virginia are non-affiliated. Again, just affiliate yourself with somebody, dude. Seriously, like it's not that hard. Let's see. So local Republican lawmakers have contended that open primary systems have cost Republican seats due to Democrat interference. Yes, it has, dude. Of course it has. That's the entire point, dude. They want to fuck around and they want to fuck with your fucking shit is what it is. Yes, the Senate Finance Committee Chairman Eric Tarr, Republican from West Virginia there, said, I can see the pros and cons of both sides, and I'm now on the side of that we should close primaries entirely. So traditionally we have had, this has happened with Republican elections, is that about 2/3 of non-parties would vote in our primaries and about 1/3 would vote in the Democrat side of it. But what we've seen in the last couple of elections in the past is that this ability to move that third that normally votes in the Democrat primary over the Republican primary has cost us seats at local levels and state races. Yeah, of course it has, dude. Makes sense. And as Donald Trump Jr. would say, he said, why are Republicans even allowing Democrats to interfere with GOP primaries like this? We need closed GOP primaries in every state across the country, so it's only Republicans voting in them. Democrats shouldn't get a say in Republican nominee. And that's the thing, right? It would be the same thing as fucking Republicans crossing over and being like, no, we're going to pick somebody that's not piece of shit Biden there. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit entirely, man. But anyway.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Then we got this one, which was Senator J.D. Vance warns colleagues weapons sent to Ukraine were not adequately tracked. Of course they weren't.
And that was the whole point.
Is this Operation Fast and Furious 2.0 right now that we're talking about? Like, seriously, bro?
Probably.
That's what the shit feels like.
Well,
honestly.
given how much money is thrown in there, I was probably in a way bigger scale now.
Mm-hmm. See what else we got. Boston, Chicago, blue cities turning major airports into migrant shelters. Yeah, I was watching something on the news earlier today. They were talking about putting these people on like SARTA buses and stuff like that. or like Greyhound buses just asleep for like the night and stuff because the only place to put them is what it is there. And it's like, or you could just send them back, motherfuckers. Like that would work too. Send them back to where they came from. Fucking figure it out, man. Yes, the city of Boston has begun housing hundreds of illegals at Logan International Airport, even in the face of Massport's interim CEO's claims that the airport was not an appropriate place to house illegals. No place is, dude. That's the whole point. Again, send them back to their own country where they came from. Simple solution to a simple problem. So,
But if they did that, they wouldn't have their standing army against us.
yeah, exactly. Let's see, we got exclusive. JD Vance seeks to block sale of iconic American gun brands to Czech. I'm not sure what that word is. Congratulate. Yeah, so JD Vance spoke exclusively with Breitbart News Wednesday about his push to block the sale of Remington and other iconic American firearms brands to the Czech group. So the other brands include Federal and CCI. All the brands are held under the umbrella of Vista Outdoor Sporting Products. So JD has concerns about the sale due to the links between CSG and the Kremlin, and he is asking for the Committee on Foreign Investment to block the sale of this. So he explained his concerns in a letter to the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, dated today. Said the letter says in part that this company has a long record of wrongdoing and well-documented connections to American adversaries. Said Vance zeroed in on the sale of Vista Outdoor Sporting Goods Company. Said transaction poses apparent risk of our national security. I urge you to immediately initiate a full security review of the transaction and use every authority to migrate the risk it poses. Dangers posed by the sale are not due to the transaction's size or considerate of the market power. However, this company has a long and troubling record that should raise national security concerns, especially alleged ties to the inner circle of Russian President Vladimir Putin. We cannot afford for America's supply of guns to fall into the hands of the wrong people. So this Committee on Foreign Affairs thing process is a critical tool to keep American people safe from enemies who seek to exploit our domestic vulnerabilities. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck you'd ever let an international anybody buy American gun companies. It's fucking insane, dude, entirely. Like, that should only be in American hands ever. So. Then, of course, we got going back to old neocon Nikki. Democrats won't be voting. Haley mocked for keeping campaign alive in South Carolina, a state that she was literally governor in, and one of the worst governor in the world, as far as I'm understanding from people I've talked to that live in that state. So, yeah, she's a fucking idiot for sure, man. Let's see what else we got here. Anything worth talking about?
Why is she so adamant about not dropping out? Does she have something to gain from it? Like, is she bought and paid for?
Obviously that's the case. She is bought and paid for. And I think, honestly, like, given the fact that we've talked about this on Honda's chat and a few other chats about the very real possibility of political assassination this go around, I think that she's waiting for them to kill Trump at this point, honestly, so she can take the spot, is what it is then.
Hypothetically, yes.
Yes, of course, hypothetically. So, anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's it for the stories on Breitbart for today.
I still love that video that came out where that guy was just giving Nikki Haley shit for wasting $100 million on campaign ads when she knows she's not gonna beat Trump. There's no way she can, unless there's fortification.
Well, here's an interesting one too. Let's go to the Gateway Pundit here. We got panicked Obama reportedly urging Joe Biden to quit the 2024 race. So Barack Obama was reportedly terrified that Biden is going to lose in November and urging Biden to exit the race. Obama has never been crazy about Biden and wasn't even happy about Biden's decision to run for president in 2020. Now he is looking at the momentum of Trump and is already building compared to Biden's weak campaign. The problem Democrats have here is that Biden's ego. He thinks he is doing a great job. He wants to run, et cetera, et cetera. Even though he's not even mentally there, is what it is, 90% of the fucking time.
I mean, they could find some way to make him if they really want him to quit. I think they can make
Well,
him quit.
and I mean, we've had this conversation, many a time at this point. It's like, who would they really want? Would it be Big Mike, Michelle Obama? Would it be fucking Gavin Newsom? Like, would it be Gretchen Whitmer, for God's sakes? Like, the only thing they really have right now is either you would bring up some random ass governor, you would bring up Big Mike, or you would bring up some random fucking nobody out of nowhere is what it is then. That's your only options to take over for Biden then. Because you're always not going to have Kamala take over then, because she's a fucking retard.
It's funny. They could bring that one dude, but the guy who can't speak right.
Kennedy?
I said no, dude, the everyman. Remember the one they voted for him, and when the one dude died. Fuck, I'm trying to remember that name. The guy had like a brain problem or some shit.
I know
Fuck, what's his
RFK
name?
has issues because of big pharmaceutical shit. So
No, I'm trying to think of that. Remember that one guy that ran that one race because the other dude died?
No, I don't remember that.
He's like handicapped and shit.
I don't know, man. I mean, they all technically handicapped, but there you go. So,
No, I'm trying to remember. I think he's Democrat or
yeah,
is he like?
I don't know.
He like wears a jacket all the time.
Obviously, women and children win. Ohio bans sex changes for minors and protects female sports after state senate overrides Rhino Governor DeWine's veto. That's the one thing. I'll tell you right now, like, I'm going to make a bold statement right now, and this is if we're not in civil war by 2026 and I become the governor of this state right now. One of my first acts will legitimately be the arrest of Mike DeWine for a shitload of fucking felonies he's committed in the last 5 years now. Like, this dude needs to be in state prison right now for a bunch of stuff. So, but yeah, of course, it was all party. I think this was almost party line vote. I think there was one Rhino in this mix because it was 24-8 was the actual state senate vote then.
Okay, I had to look up the name. It was John Fetterman.
Okay, yeah.
They could mess with him, but he's too much of a wild card.
I don't think so.
It's too much of a wild card that they wouldn't want to do that.
Okay, yeah. It was literally party line vote except for a sack of shit Nathan Manning going full Rhino and going with Democrats then to vote against it. Like, what a fucking idiot, dude. I don't know if this guy's actually up for re-election this year, if he's termed out or not, but he needs to be kicked out of office. That was what it is for that kind of shit. I'm side-eyeing this dude forever as a fucking possible child molester in the state now as a state rep. He even looks like a fucking creep too, to be honest with you. So, but yeah. So HB 68 will now become law in 90 days. So that would be April 24th, I believe is what it is then, or 23rd maybe, somewhere in there.
Which law is that?
To ban minor transitions and stuff in the state of Ohio. And stop dudes from queening female sports too as well. So,
why they're gonna start getting on you too over there in Ohio?
Yeah, let them have it, man. I'll go fuck. I swear to God, this UAW president guy in that red tie there looks like a discount version of ex-Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. Like, if I didn't know anywhere, I think they cloned his ass from that dude or something, because they look very, very similar. So, yeah. Governor Abbott holds the line and invokes Texas's constitutional authorities to defend itself against the lawless Biden regime. Hell yeah.
Stay strong, Texas. Stay strong. Hold fast.
Let's see. 30.
So, yeah, y'all gonna need it.
My pillow closet. Chuck Schumer gets warned he's messing with a force much bigger than he understands. Probably talking about Texas, I'm guessing, as well on that one. Oh no, it's some kind of tobacco patch, apparently. They're trying to ban, I guess, tobacco or flavored vape or something like that, probably federally is my guess, honestly. Yeah, and there's this crazy chick that stabbed that dude 108 times is what it is. That's crazy, man. So Nancy Pelosi attacks Trump's cognitive disorders, then confuses him with Biden. Yeah, who's the real cognitive impaired bitch, you stupid cunt. Actually, since you're here, Shot, explain something to me. How is it that Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters don't even live in their own congressional districts, yet are still able to run for office again and again?
Beats me. I couldn't answer that one for you.
Yeah, because here it would be illegal. They would be kicked off the ballot immediately because they're not living in the congressional districts.
Well, remember, where I live at, remember they're all mostly Democrat rule.
Yeah, makes
They
sense.
all like in on it and shit.
See, thieves drag entire ATM from van in broad daylight following bank robbery in crime-ridden California. That's impressive. That's impressive. Let's see. Tennessee firefighters save Bible out of burning house. Cool. Let's see what else we got here. Pelosi AOC, other House Democrats hit with ethics complaint, accused of repeatedly misusing funds. Again, this should be an automatic disqualification from office at this point in history. Kick their asses out of office entirely. Throw them in jail for misuse of funds, etc. Have a better country entirely. So, let's see here. Texas AG Ken Paxton explains how Democrats swiped 2020. Not surprising. Let's see. We got endless nights behind bars. January Sixers. Harrowing tale of sleepless nights in the DC Gulag. Yeah, not surprising on that one. Honestly, the only thing that will save America, though, first and foremost, with the RNC is getting rid of Rana's ass, Mitt Romney's stupid ass niece, out of that chair. That woman has no business being there at all. And not only that, she's also been misusing funds too, for that matter, for her own like private trips and shit. So, anyway. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Anything worth talking about? Democrat New Hampshire voters admit to voting for Nikki Haley in Republican primary to sabotage Trump. Of course they fucking do. And that's the thing. They'll openly admit that shit to your face because they can do it, man. This is like, Jesus, people. Wake up. Close primary systems. So, anyway. Oh, and of course you got Bob Mendez claiming FBI illegally raided his house and wants his gold back that he had from what was it, Egypt or somebody there? I don't understand how this guy's not in federal prison right now on a ton of fucking federal charges right now. Just craziness right now. So, mass layoffs rock LA Times, over 100 staff cut, affecting a quarter of the News Guild due to heavy losses. Well, print media has been dying for decades, is what it is, man. Yeah, and then of course we got the leaked audio confirms Rhino AG GOP chair Jeff DeWitt tried to bribe Kerry Lake. Lake tells DeWitt, "You're going to have to fucking kill me to stop me from running." And then, of course, he resigned today, is what it was. Hopefully, he'll be hauled up to prison very soon for a whole bunch of bribery charges and stuff like that. But who knows? Give it up for local climate? Probably not. So. Well, that's not voter fraud or anything at all right there. Arizona Democrat Secretary of State says voter registration error is switching Republican voters to independent prior to closed primary elections. Like, dude, we are so off the rails at this point as a country.
Oh yeah. Like
civil war is 100% imminent at this point. It's just a matter of time before it happens, I think. Like the question is, will it get warm enough before that happens, or will it happen like in the next month or two? Is what it is right now. I think only time will tell. What was Honda's prediction again? It was what, the 28th of February, I think, right?
I thought it was the 23rd. Well, I don't know.
I thought you said 28th. I think you said 28th, which would be, let's see, exactly 5 weeks from now right now. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's wild, wild stuff for sure. I think things are just going to get worse and worse before they get better, though. And then apparently here's some video footage of illegals in the Logan International Airport right now, just chilling. Let's see what we got here. Got, looks like some Latinos someplace there. Looks like a lot of black folks here from probably African nations, my guess. Let's see what else we got. Anybody else? Just a lot of random. And that's the thing too, like, you can't tell me living like that where you're basically living homeless on a friggin' ground with a pad or whatever underneath you at that point. This isn't just like Typhoid Mary waiting to happen, honestly.
Well, I already told you about that shit. We already talked about that stuff that was going on in Chicago about people shitting on the streets and shit and catching shit.
Huh. So we got the hypocrisy here. 19 families buy nearly 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city safe for black people. Revealed far-right figures try to create Christian nationalist haven in Kentucky. Fucking media, man, I'll tell you what. So what was the difference in the time period of these? September 12, 2020, and this is the 20th of this month. So 4 days ago was the Kentucky one. Yeah, it's like same shit, just different race, honestly. See, Texas National Guard continuing to hold the line in the standoff with federal government. They are still refusing to grant access to any federal agents and are now installing more border barriers. Don't mess with Texas. Exactly. We got a cat learning that the red part of the watermelon is actually the best part. It's like, ooh, this is a good piece right here. Yeah, it's like this green isn't very good, man. Let me eat this red piece over here. Oh, man. It's funny. All right, let's see what we got here for some guns. Let's see, we got a couple different shotguns, and then... Oh, actually, those are all shotguns. They're just variation shotguns. That bottom one looks like it's a 19-round mag. I think it's a 19-round mag for a AR 12 gauge. We got, looks like a... I'm trying to think what that is now. That third one is a discount version of a Mossberg, Second one is another semi-auto, and the first one, I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe Benelli or something like that, or Benelli clone, maybe something. I don't know. I think the first two would probably run the best, honestly. That fourth one might be pretty good, though, since it does have more capacity, but then again, it would also be possible jams with the feeding of the mag and stuff like that, and effective 12-gauge rounds. So, I don't know. But the question posed was skinwalkers are kicking your door in. Which one would you choose? I mean, it depends on how many, honestly, because, again, those first two at most only hold like 8 rounds, maybe, I'm guessing, a piece. If even that. Maybe more like 6 or 7 rounds.
I prefer that than what? Because number 4, how much is that? It's pretty much not like the same close around amount of size.
Yeah. But then the mag for the last one is like at least a 9 round, or actually I think that's a 19 round mag if I'm not mistaken.
Well, if it is, that's pretty cool.
So it's at least a 9 round. I think it is 19 though.
But I don't know
That
nothing about that
size.
shotgun brand. So I don't know if it got a lot of jams or not. Because I know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and that's the like because obviously the base one of those is like a 5 round mag. But the thing is though, even if you had like a 5 round mag, let's say you had a 5 round mag in that, right? And then you just have like a couple more like on your belt somehow or whatever. If you're like having to switch like every 4 or 5 rounds, then like I don't know. Like I think that would be that to me that would be an easier transition than you're going 7, 8 rounds at whatever there and how many creatures there would be there, whatever the case be, and then you're having to like flip it and do feeding real quick is what it is then. Because some of us ain't that great at doing single feeds or even double feeds or whatever into that tube magazine. So I would almost be better off just pulling the fucking first mag and then dropping another mag in there is what it is then.
I never dealt with a double feed with a shotgun, so I'm still learning a lot of stuff on shotguns. But
well, I'm sorry, not double feed. It would be double. What do you call it now? It's like quad loading, I think is what it's called.
Oh,
you have
quad
like 4 in your hand or whatever.
Yeah. I never
like,
done quad.
It would be like
it's
half
weird,
that or whatever. Then
even though I got giant hands, it's kind of weird for me to grapple some shit sometimes. Because I used to play dominoes. I know some people just I hold all the dominoes in my hand and just.
I wouldn't worry about it.
So it's like. I think it's like a learning-ish thing, but still, at the end of the day, I was gonna say I think we're getting there as far as like semi-auto shotguns getting better and better. So going with the first wouldn't be a problem.
So we got FNP90, which is a full auto in 5.7. I think that's 51 round capacity there, versus AR with 30 round capacity. Well, the thing about that is that obviously you have to have NFA tax stamps and stuff with the first one, whereas I don't think you have to have them with the second one is what it is. So I would definitely take the AR for sure, just because of that reasoning. Now, granted, if we were in Shit's a fan and I had no problem with anything, I could actually have as much ammo as I wanted in something. Yeah, the P90 is probably what to go with, honestly. That's the one thing that always.
Regardless.
That's the one thing that actually bothered the shit out of me with that movie. What's that called now? The one with Bautista where they're fighting the zombies and shit in Vegas.
Oh, shit. What the fuck is that shit called? Something of the dead.
Yeah, whatever it was. Anyway, that particular movie. Yeah. So you have everybody go in there with their kits and everything. You have half the people going there with like AR-15s and stuff, or some kind of variant of that, or most likely full auto and stuff. M4 kind of deal is what it is. And then you had the one Latino chick going there with like one of these P90s, and I'm just like, you have no mag compatibility with anybody else, girl. Like, once you're out, and now you're fucked.
Well, see, that's a good, even in the, because I watched certain videos, prepping all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Even some people feel like, yeah, you're that one guy that's the odd man out. It's like, that's a problem, but also sometimes you kind of want that one odd man just in case for certain uses. Mm-hmm. Now, that person with the P90, I don't see any quick better uses you got except what super close quarter stuff, but even that people are rolling with ARs and it ain't too much compact problems.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been a company that's brought back the Spaz 12 yet. I think that's what that's called, where it's like the pumper auto.
I mean, some people would ask the same thing with the AA12, but that's a whole different discussion.
Well, no, because this is one of the ones from the 80s, and it was the one that was used in the first Terminator movie and stuff like that, where they specifically stated it's the only shotgun at the time that could go pump or auto.
Mm.
And you had Schwarzenegger using it, I think it was in a pump capacity, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's been a couple other movies over the years that have used it in like full in the actual like semi-auto version then. So
well, I always felt there's like a bunch of different guns that people would want to buy or repros if you do them again.
Yeah.
Reproductions.
Well, there's several different guns on the market that were on the market, I think, in their own time that didn't do well, that I think now would do very well. And that's one of them, obviously, that Medusa 47 revolver that existed for a long time is another one of these ones.
Hell, you can do certain World War II guns that people want. It wood, adamant wood or not, and if they look close enough, I'm pretty sure people will buy them. But they feel like, oh, it's gonna be way more expensive than certain others. I can see certain ones. Like, remember, I like the C96. I can see that being an expensive gun to reproduct as compared to like a Car 98 or whatever. Or now they're finally doing that STG 44 finally. And when I saw from a little bit of SHOT Show, seemed like the MP5 was coming back again, so everyone's coming at home.
For a minute, I thought this was actually just one giant magazine around this AK. It kind of looks like it is if you don't look close enough. And then you realize it's like 6 or 7 mags. There was one that I actually saw, though, and it was one of the guys that was part of that NFAT group a few years back now. And he lived, I don't know what the hell kind of banana mag he had in that gun, but it was not like a regular 30 round one. It was like almost like a 70 or 80 round mag, because it went all the way around and then like came up to the end of the barrel basically, to where it would have almost shot its own mag out then if it had gotten any longer.
No, yeah.
And I was like, there's no way that's not gonna have feeding issues with it, bro. Like, that's just stupid. Like, just get a fucking 30 round, just have an actual kit then, dude, with like a couple other mags in it.
I always felt that kind of, I mean, I see the appeal, but I always felt that was kind of odd how the AK has that little slant. I always, you feel like that'd be a like feeding issue compared to like something that's more straight and narrow.
Well, the thing is, too, you also have to, like, I think what the problem, too, with the AK for a lot of people is you have to, like, learn how to load the thing, because some people wouldn't even realize you have to, like, do, like, the button thing right there to undo the mag at the bottom of it there. Versus like an AR-15, that would be super easy to learn because you just have to pull the charging handle and you're good to go. Then is what it is.
Well, no. You actually, you'd be surprised. I've tested out some things. Some people feel like that's a little more simpler in the way mechanically with an AK, because you do that charging handle rack where the charging handle of an AR is like all the way in the back, and it's kind of sometimes depending what type of charging handle you have, some is kind of smaller than others. It's weird. I notice even certain people that don't like guns or whatever, try guns, they like that weird mechanical, revving, like pulling the charging handle type interestingness to it compared to the AR, because not many people don't, when you first start them getting into it, not many people know that you could do that whole that button on the side when you have to reload. Yeah.
This is a pretty cool revolver shotgun. That's clearly an SBR. I'm not a fan of that other one, though, because that's obviously another SBR, but it's like they cut off way too much of the friggin' barrel on that.
Looks like you're trying to make it hidden.
Yeah, that top one is 100% them trying to do something very evil with it, which is just dumb. I do like that bottom one, though, because it's basically just a giant revolver with a stock on it, is what it'd be then.
I think the barrel needs a little bit longer, but yeah.
I mean, that would be cool. That honestly, that revolver one would be cool if it was like that. I forget what the gun was that Schwarzenegger used in Terminator 2 at the beginning. When he still had I gave
you an idea. That one at the bottom, put it in 500 Smith & Wesson and put it with a little bit of a longer barrel, so it'll be like a little rotating 8-shot or 10-shot. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think this is probably 410, honestly, because that's usually what they are. It's usually 410 or 45 Colt or whatever.
But you know what I'm saying, right? You can make it like a little rifle.
I mean, they could do like 454 Kazoo on that too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that would be another one that would be pretty powerful as well. So, and then somebody posted their own. It's obviously a video game image on that one for that. Let's see what the other ones were down there. That one just looks nuts. That's a little too much on that one for my personal taste. So, I usually go to the more replies on that because you never know what's going to pop up on those things. Obviously, that was the presidential briefcase that they were showing. Honda was showing on his chat last night, I think is what it was. But they used to keep MP5s in there.
I mean, it'd just be cool just to try once.
You could pop it in. You could actually shoot from the briefcase itself, where you can pop the whole gun out, and then you can pop it and use it that way or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty slick.
I want my MP5.
It reminds me of that one scene from the end of Desperado, honestly.
Yep.
Where the guy shows up with the two guitar cases that have I think it's Mac 10s in them or something.
Shoot, one dude had a little rocket launcher on that thing. That was cool.
Yeah. Although it's funny because when you realize like what was actually in those in those cases, like there's no way that they would have functioned properly because they would have had to reload a bunch of times what it is then. And they never reloaded those mags ever in that.
Well, the rocket one was the unrealistic one.
Yeah. Also, the suspension of disbelief, even in the case of the lead dude when he was shooting the guys and stuff, because you can clearly tell like there's one part of that scene where he's like doing like the whips of the guns and stuff, and the one like obviously runs dry like earlier on, but then it like super cuts and it's like loaded again for like another 5 rounds or something in it. So
I have to go back and rewatch that one. It's been so
it's
long.
just funny. Actually, one of the funniest ones, one of the funniest showing Hollywood knows something about guns, honestly, is the one scene in the movie American History X when he goes out to shoot the guys and stuff. And it's when I'm trying to think, Edward Norton lands on the staircase, like the bottom of the staircase or whatever. You can hear an audible click of him loading another magazine into the gun and like racking the slide. Because a particular gun that he actually had was either a 10 or 15 round capacity. And I think it was like 9 rounds is what he fires. And then he fires like another 15 after that for a total of like 24, 25, something like that. So, yeah, he would have been completely out with just that first dude and then hitting, I think he hit the first guy a few times and then the other dude like once in the back and then he hit the car twice or something and they would have been out completely. So you're never be able to do like the actual shooting the back window out of the car or anything else like that. So, and again, that's the problem with Hollywood not knowing a damn thing about firearms and stuff, and thinking everybody else is just as ignorant as their asses are is what it is. So, anyway, let's go see if there's anything going on with SHOT Show right now or not.
Shoot, some people I follow, they ain't post really a lot, really. I saw Arrow making their own little weird prototype lever action. Looks interesting.
Apparently, I reposted something and they're trying to put warnings on it now. It's probably that Doucette guy getting what's coming to him, I guess. Let's see here. SHOT Show 2024. New guns.
I mean, above all, we're going to say, like, I think PSA won that one. That was their year.
All right, let's see here. We got new handguns at SHOT Show for 2024. And we got SHOT Show Day 1, new products from Hira. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got here now. H6 bolt action rifle with side magazine. That's cool. Huh. That's interesting. Then we got a folding version of it then too. That's pretty sweet.
No joke. What he said, it does look like a penis, though.
Let's see, what is this one? Kel-Tec R50 Defender in 5.7. This is probably the dumbest design gun they ever came up with, honestly.
It looks like a harpoon gun.
It's like a ripoff. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was based on their other one that was like the 22 or whatever. And then they just simply took the PS9 or the P90s magazine there and then flipped it inwards and then put their thing down on top of like a break action. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of it. And because honestly, all they did with this thing, they just basically made that gun and then they took like a fucking stock onto it, is what it is there. That's like a shouldering device or whatever then. Which makes it look even dumber now, honestly.
Like I said, I respect Kel-Tec's trying to do innovation stuff, but yeah, that shit's crappy.
Yeah, it just looks retarded. Let's see. New era for tactical rifle scopes with the Hellas K328i. So how much does the scope does it even say? Let's see. Latest generation of tactical scopes from that company. Designed to offer a new experience at upper class rifle scope segment. Model is characterized 40% wider range of view and 8 times zoom, which is intended to ensure consistency and outstanding imagery quality. The tower adjustment range. Yeah, it's cool. I'm sure it's several $1,000 for that scope, is my guess, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Some kind of binocular things.
just as more.
Some new AR, it looks like here. Or no, never mind. That's actually the scope she's demoing there.
Yeah, some thermal thing on it.
Yeah, it's a thermal
that's
scope,
probably just
imaging and
as more,
stuff, whatever. Again, that's going to be at least probably $2 or $3 grand for that, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that scope, which is just crazy to me, honestly. Let's see, then we got Smith & Wesson model 1854 and 44 mag. Manufacturer's
how
first
much they're
lever action rifle.
I forgot how much they're charging it. I think it's like more than what it should be, so I always find that odd.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like this is what looks weird on this to me. It has that second like port at the top there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost looks like it would be like a second loading gate somehow.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look right. Like I don't know who designed that feature of it, but it's like stupid, honestly.
I think there's like a little MLOS slot, right?
I don't know that it is, honestly, because you have right there at the end, like where that guy right behind this guy's finger is where you have the hook for the actual sling. So I'm not sure what the fuck this would be then.
I don't know. Maybe somebody need to add a light when you go.
Let's see what it
hunting.
says here. Standard model comes with polymer stock with front end M-lock interface with 369 clock positions. Also features pre-mounted Picatinny rail, ghost ring sight rear. Capacity of tubular magazine is 9 cartridges. In addition, standard model, special edition with walnut, limited to 1,854 pieces. Also available. Yeah, it's cool, I guess. I mean, I like the capacity of it, honestly. Being a 9-round gun, it's obviously good. 44 mag there. Let's see, then we got Benelli AI Advanced Impact Technology for Ethos Performance Shop Shotguns. That's cool.
Somebody with money will get that.
Let's see, Browning X Bolt 2 Bolt Action Rifle Series. A new Browning A5 Hunter semi-auto shotgun in 20 gauge. Cool. Let's see, Fair Cara 1, the sporty under-over shotgun with modern technology. Yeah, I'm sure that's a several $1,000 gun right there, for sure. Let's see, then we got Finchy USA presents the Affinity 3 Sport Trap semi-automatic shotgun for sport shooting and hunting. What is the capacity on this bad boy, though? See, it comes with 5 chokes. Cool. Doesn't say capacity, though. I'm guessing probably a 4, honestly, given the thing, which that seems like a long-ass barrel for only a 4 round. Like, give me at least a 5 round on that.
Well, remember, it's for like those people that wants to do that little duck hunt trap shooting, and they probably got like little round limits and shit.
Well,
See,
yeah, I know most states it's a 3-round capacity maximum for any gun like that. It's like 2 in the 2 in the tube and then 1 in the chamber kind of thing. So who knows? Let's see if there's anything else here that we want to talk about or not. Oh yeah, we got some handguns and stuff on this other page here. So we got the Daniel Defense H9, which I'm not impressed by at all, for that matter.
Same here, and too expensive.
Well, not only that, but it's proprietary mags. It's a 15-round maximum on it. It's like, meh. Then we got the Daniel Defense PCC. So they're finally getting in the PCC game. Looks like they're using the Scorpion Evo mags, too, on that. So that's cool. So you got proprietary weapon system, UXR. I think it looks clunky as shit, honestly. Well, it's got Terminator boot on the foot of it, too, there. Yeah, that's funny. see, is an interesting gun that is ready to use as it brings modernity to AR platform. Let's see, then we got some other arms company hydraulic guide rod and spring for Glock series of pistols. That's cool. Got PSA 57. That almost looks like a Kel-Tec ripoff, honestly. Looks weird. Let's see, 308 Jackal. That'd be another PSA product. Yeah, looks like that's about it there. So, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. All right, well, I'm getting pretty tired, so I think I'm going to call it a night since we're over a half hour after what match chat would have been. So, and I will not be doing a chat tomorrow, obviously, because of the wake. And then I'm not sure if I'll be doing one on Friday afternoon or not either, but maybe back Friday night. May just be back sometime Saturday or Sunday. It all depends. So, other than that, though, I think this has been a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And everything.
Other than that, that's about it for tonight. Have a good one, y'all. And stay safe, stay strapped, and be vigilant because something's definitely going to happen in this country very soon. And I don't know exactly when, but when it does, you never know what's going to happen, and you never know what's going to be able to stop it. So it's better to be armed and prepared now when it does happen than to be caught with your pants down when it does happen, and then you're getting fucked. So have a good one,
And that's
y'all.
when you got to keep your butthole tight.
Yeah, don't be going to Chicago jails and getting your butthole spit in because you never know, man. You never know with these people sometimes. But yeah, no, have a good one, y'all. Later.
Peace.